All right, so previously we looked at solving a system of equations by graphing. And what that showed us is the solution is the point where the two lines intersect. And so now we're going to talk about two algebraic ways to solve a system because that tends to be easier most times. So the first way that we're going to solve is by what's called substitution. You probably have seen the word substitution before when you plug a value in for the variable. What we're going to do now is we are going to change one of these equations. We're going to solve it for a variable, and then we are going to substitute that equation into the other. Now here's the key to substitution. Here's the only time I would recommend using substitution. If one of the variables is super simple to solve for, meaning I don't have to do any division of anything. And so as we inspect these two equations, I've got x minus 2y is 7. I've got 3x plus 4y is negative 9. And so just think to yourself, what is the simplest variable to solve for? And so hopefully you pointed at this x right here. There is nothing to divide by. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve that equation for x. So I'm just going to rewrite the equation over here so I have a little more room to work. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 2y to both sides. And now what I end up with is x equals 2y plus 7, or 7 plus 2y. You can write that in either order. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that equation, and I'm everywhere I see an x in the second equation, I'm going to plug in 2y plus 7. So here's my second equation. And so I've got 3 times x. So 3 times, now instead of an x, x is equal to 2y plus 7. So I'm going to put a 2y plus 7 right there. So instead of an x, I've put 2y plus 7. Then I've got 4y, and then equal to negative 9. And so now the rest of this is a linear equation. You've probably solved a bunch of these before. I'm going to first distribute. So 3 times 2y is 6y. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 4y is equal to negative 9. I'm going to collect those like terms. 6y and 4y, that is 10y. And remember, the general principle we try to do when solving a linear equation is we put all the variables on one side, all the numbers on the other. So the y's are already on the left, so I am going to subtract 21 to get all of the numbers on the right. So I have 10y is equal to negative 30. When I divide by 10, you'll get used to doing this. It's the same steps every time when you do problems like this. I get y is negative 3. Now remember, from when we graphed, there are two parts to the solution. There should be an x value and a y value. So we have found the y value. And so then to finish this problem off, I'm going to take that y value and I'm going to substitute it back in here to get the x value. So I have x is equal to 2 times negative 3 plus 7. So that is 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And then negative 6 plus 7 is positive 1. You always write your answer as a point because this is the result of a graph. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to write the point. The x value always comes first, the y value always comes second, and there's the solution to this system of equations.